Right, so let's stay with the country, Uganda. The Non-Aligned Movement Summit continues. It involves dozens of countries that are not formally aligned with or against any major power bloc. A meeting of heads of state is scheduled for Friday, following the conclusion of ministerial meetings on Thursday. High on the agenda during those meetings was how to bring peace and stability to troubled regions. The ministers adopted certain documents and declarations, and these will be submitted to the heads of state for consideration. They include the Kampala Outcome Document, the Kampala Declaration, and the Declaration on Palestine. During the week, the member countries also fronted demands for an overhaul of the UN Security Council, insisting that Africa should have at least 2 permanent seats. The heads of states meeting paves the way for the G77 plus China summit that starts on Sunday. For the latest on this, we're joined by our correspondent Nick Mudimba. He has been covering the NAM summit in Uganda's capital, Kampala. Nick, the heads of states have begun meeting today. What have been the highlights of those talks as they wait to conclude on Saturday?
So, Penina, day one of the heads of state and government summit today, of course, after the first day, the senior officials, ministerial. Now, this is where now they're sealing everything. Adoption of the documents will be coming through after this meeting tomorrow. So today, the focus has mainly been on peace and security in the continent. Now, the fact that NAM members share the same kind of unique problems and unique blessings in that matter, it has come out that indeed there's so many diplomatic issues amongst member countries. And this is something that the heads of state are trying to put forward. Now, the Gaza Strip issue has also been very vocal in this summit. They're trying to make sure that the UN should now add more, of course, shoot from all cylinders to end the issue in Gaza. Something else, Penina, is that the heads of state are trying to come together. And despite this being a political meeting, they're transitioning more to trade, whereby the hard global issues, economic times, they need to come together and do more trade together. So this is just among the many issues that the heads of state are talking about. And of course, tomorrow they'll now be adopting the documents that the senior officials and ministers are put forward, Penina.
Right, so starting Saturday to the 23rd, Uganda will be hosting the G77 plus China conference. We do know, Nick, that China has sent a delegation. What more can you tell us about this?
So the Chinese delegation landed yesterday at 8 p.m. EAT, that's East African time here in Uganda. And this is one of the most conspicuous moves from China, because now, as a hegemon, China is trying to really push the agenda of a South-South cooperation to be stronger. Now, China has come through for African countries and, of course, even other countries big time during times of need. And this time around, the adoption of the articles after the G77 plus China conference will be very, very instrumental for the countries. Member countries here really look forward for China to come up again with that important dossier, important aspect in terms of boosting trade, boosting diplomatic ties, and of course something that is called diplomatic elasticity, where China is coming in to show the world that indeed, even as a developing country, is trying also to hold hands, be a destiny shaper for these countries that are actually still lagging behind in terms of development. So it's a very, very important meeting for the member states, and from tomorrow, after the ministerial, that's the presidential and the head of state summit, will actually take a break. Then on Sunday, this will begin officially, Penina.